All right, so we're going to start. Hello, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody can hear me. I hope everybody is doing well and everybody are safe. Welcome to Remote Workforce Summit. And my name is Varsha. I'm from College Times. And before I begin our session, I would just like to thank each one of the participants. Thank you so much for taking your time and coming and participating in Remote Workforce Summit. While moving on to our new session, which is going to be starting from scratch, the businesses and the human need for a remote workforce. We have our speaker for today, Mr. Sumeet Pathak. He is the digital workforce evangelist automation anywhere from India. So welcome, Mr. Sumeet Pathak. It's actually a great honor to have you on board it. Just to give you all a brief introduction for Mr. Sumeet. Sumeet has 20 years of experience with top tier global banks. Over the course of his career, Sumeet has led major function and projects covering financial, digital, and core banking products. Sumeet has also built automation COEs in multiple banks and is a thought leader in the field of intelligent automation. That is amazing. So again, welcome, Mr. Sumeet. It's an honor to have you on board today, taking your time and coming and speaking about such a relevant topic. And before we begin the session and I hand it over to Mr. Sumeet, I request all the attendees having questions, I request you all to please put it in the Q&A box, and it will be answered by Mr. Sumeet by end of the conversation, by end of the session. So yes, Mr. Sumeet, you may please start.
Thank you, Varsha. Thanks for the introduction. Please let me know when you're able to see my screen.
Yes, I can see you.
Do you mind giving me the rights to broadcast the slides, Varsha?
Yes, I'm going to stop sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Give me 1 second. And if you can confirm you can see my screen, that will be great. All good? It's visible?
Yes, I can see you. Yes.
Fantastic. So thank you. So thanks for the introduction and good morning, everyone. Really appreciate you dialing into this session. My name is Sumeet. I've been with Automation Anywhere for now almost 10 months, almost a year now, but had the opportunity of working in the automation space for the last 7 years, and especially in the banking space. And in today's session, we all know that we are going through this unprecedented times. It's never been a time where we all have felt the same sense of various different mix of feelings together, right? So how we are responding personally or how we are responding in our professional space, we are all able to relate to each other. And I will try to cover that point in my presentation today. So before I get into it, just quick introduction about Automation Anywhere, my company where I work. So it's the world's largest digital workforce platform, and I will explain what digital workforce is and how it's basically helping in the distributed workforce situation. We are in the top rated digital platform across all different analyst firms. We have got more than 3,000 plus enterprise customers, more than presence in 90 plus countries, the workforce of 2,400 plus, partners 1,100 plus. And the most important part is the 1.8 million digital workers deployed, right? That's where we basically use our product to help organizations to augment their capacity. But as we move, and as I spoke about regarding the COVID, the unprecedented times which we are in, we know that every part of the business we know of is being disrupted, be it supply chain, travel, markets, right? More importantly, that's also impacting the well-being of employees as well. While 3/4 of the world is in the lockdown, we have seen that a lot of employees, or as per the recent study which came about, that we are spending more time on our computer than what we used to when we were at work. So more than it's actually 3 hours extra every day, which we are doing in front of our laptops, right? So it is kind of challenging times for all of us, where business and communities are faced with both economic and humanitarian impact. And predominantly more so the business themselves are basically trying to have this delicate balance of avoiding the long-term economic impact, but at the same time mitigating, the virus spread. They want to open up the businesses. At the same time, they want to make sure that it's done safely. They want to make sure that employees are taken care of. They want to make sure that there is not enough, this that there's no second, wave which is initiated in the local space where they are working, right? And that's where Automation Anywhere basically thought about how do we come forth with our customers and we can help them in that particular situation. So as I said at the start, we got around 3,000 customers when the lockdown started across the globe. And as you know, that across the globe, lockdown has come in a different ways or forms. Like in Dubai, there has been more so restrictions, right? But again, the movements were limited. But if you see in China, the lockdown is reversed and people are going back to work. So is in Australia. In India, it is still it's in the phased manner. So responding to that need with our customers, we said, okay, let's divide the industries into various different buckets. And we said there's certain industry which needs to be efficient, like pharma, healthcare, hospital, government, and ministries. They are in this perfect storm where the volumes and the activities of what they do has gone off the roof, but at the same time, they do not have enough workforce to basically come and help them. So there has to be a way to respond to such needs now, as well as when the dust settles and when we go back to office, right? Same with another sector, we call it the survival mode, right? We know that hospitality, airlines, all of them have been drastically impacted. How do we help them? How do we help these organizations, this industry, so they can keep their lights on, they're able to respond to their customer needs, their staff who will be overwhelmed with various different calls. We are able to help them, as we all would have done with the airlines, right? We would have called back and tried to get the cancellations or refund for our travel and the sort. So how we can help these industries and hospitalities to keep the lights on, at the same time ensure that the well-being of the staff is managed. And the safe category, which is too big to fail, as I call them, bank and insurance. We got to make sure that the banks are able to respond and able to manage the workload coming their way and take care of the more critical needs of their staff and of their customer. And so with insurance, I was speaking to a lot of insurance companies, and they've said that there's so much of uncertainty and it's so inconsistent for those who have been impacted by COVID, and they are reaching out for the claims, right? In such situation, how do you basically help insurance industry to respond to the actual needs rather than looking at the mundane activities of paper managing and the sorts? So so whoever we spoke to, right, there are four major things which came out across the industry, and this is an industry agnostic thing which we learned after speaking with our customers, after speaking with other industry leaders and thought leaders. They suggested that they are looking at four things now as they are experiencing this COVID lockdown, but also once we'll get back to the eventually when we get back to the normal, and the normal will not be the same, it will be new normal. They're saying four major things is resiliency. They want to ensure that any such incident is dealt with, the organization is resilient enough to basically respond to that. Productivity, of course, the wheels have to churn, so the work has to continue. Cybersecurity and data is quite critical as well. We know that everyone is working in a distributed environment. So how do we ensure that the data is not compromised, be it rest or in the motion, and it's and the importance is given so that the levers is given to the employee so that they can do their work more effectively, and certainly the well-being of the staff as well, right? So these are the four main areas which basically came about after speaking with industry leaders. See, one more important thing which came when we spoke to many of them, saying that for those who have already embarked on their automation journey, that do you already have bots and automation bots, and are you basically using them in the BCP situation? Has that helped you in your BCP scenario? Because we know that 3/4 of the world has gone into BCP scenario. Uh, Profoundly enough, everyone said that, Sumit, we do not see automation being used in a BCP situation. We see it to be used more as a resiliency, right? So if you design your process in a way that it is able to respond to certain needs, respond, make it a bit more resilient to any external factor, is what they are looking at. And that's what basically we took upon us, and we started to respond to specific problems which the organizations were facing. And how do we do that, right? So as I spoke about at the start of the session, we have 1.8 million digital workers. What does that mean? See, from the organization perspective, we believe that any activity in any organization, be it doing in the office or be it doing remotely, has got preliminary one fundamental building block is either we do something, we either do some sort of assessment, apply our cognitive ability, we generate some reports to analyze it, and so on and so forth. So these are the three major areas of work which we have seen, be it now and be it one that does settles down. So the idea was how can we help and the current workforce and augment their capability with the help of RPA, where all the manual mundane activity which is not going anywhere, and once that dust settles down, once people come back to the office, they will have a lot of work which needs to be done, which were not critical in the past, needs to be acted upon. And these are all manual activities. Can we basically use RPA to help to achieve that? There is unattended automation, attended automation. Attended automation is more human bot collaboration. For example, getting a call from a customer and the agent is able to respond to that particular call pretty fast, accurately, and by providing more information, by giving great customer experience, right? And we could use attended automation with the RPA to do that, right? So again, uh, knowing that new type of queries are coming in, the more training needs to be provided. Could I basically respond to the standard queries in a much faster way? Can I use bots for that? Cognitive bot, which is your IQ bot. Again, could I, we've seen that the category of being efficient, like hospitals and health sciences, they have to onboard many vendors, right? Could we basically make it very easier and seamless and fast for them so that they can onboard this? And that's where we use our cognitive module, where all this the selection process, the assessment of the vendor could be done with the help of cognitive bots and along with humans in loop. Insights is about providing the measuring and monitoring capability of the bots, especially now when you have a lot of spikes. How do you identify the pattern? How do you ensure that the bots which are doing the activity, be RPA, AI, or combined, are able to give you right business value plus also the business productivity as well, right? So to sum it up on this particular slide, because this is the fundamental of what we do, and this is the fundamental lever which we are using to help our customers in the time of need plus also moving forward, is anything you do can be help you with the help of RPA. Anything where you have to apply your cognitive ability can be combined with help of IQ bots to augment the human capacity. And analysis, reporting, putting some patterns on could be done with help of bot insights. And we have a bot store, which basically is a ready-made bots available. We have made some specific bots to respond to the current needs, and that's available in our community edition for you to go and download and use it. I will just give you a live example when I talk about how we have responded to the needs and how we are helping the customers. So this is a real example of NHS, which is National Health Services in the UK. They're the fifth largest employers in the world with 1.5 million employees. World Health Organization reached out to them saying that uh, they would like to capture the details. They would want them to capture the details of uh, uh, all the tests which are taking place, right? So whoever is walking into the hospital, you need to capture the details so they can identify the pattern, and that way we can see if we can see in which way the pandemic is spreading, right? Now, it's amazing to see that it takes, there are 90 FTEs who are continuously working on this around the clock. They get 25,000 forms a day. And just to show you, this is how the forms looks like. There are two forms, it's CRF, case record form, and then you got E28 lab testing form. It's 8-page documents. Now, as you can appreciate, this is painstaking work. You have to take the details from there and key into an application, right? Now, current situation, I would rather have those staff helping with the frontline staff in doing and responding to the patient needs, rather than doing data entry and keying in work, right? So the point is how we can help them, how we can basically help to respond to such needs. And this is where we prepared a solution for them, where with IQBot, which are a cognitive module which I spoke about, and combining the forces with Microsoft Cognitive Services, the data was extracted from these two forms, right? And then it was put in a CSV and JSON file, and then later on again combined with CSV and sent across to the healthcare system, which was then further sent, FTP'd to World Health Organization. So again, it's basically emphasizes that the lever, the intelligent automation is here in terms of helping the organizations to respond to a specific scenario as a result of the lockdown. But the same technology can be used in the distributed work scenario as well, right? Where you can use RPA to finish some activities around over the time and do a batch processing. And when employee walks in the morning or logs into the computer, the 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 manual activity or the batch processing or any of the data crunching work has already been done, and you can work on something which is far more important and relevant at that point in time. Let me take one more example, and this is, as I said, pandemic has impacted the world in different way, and we see that China is coming back to its original form slowly. But one of our customers basically wanted to be very careful about who is coming back to work, because he wanted to ensure that the person who's impacted does not come back or does not impact or uh, uh, impact the other staff. And so he created a solution with us where the details from travel history, public health information, transportation system, so on and so forth was extracted with the help of IQ bots. The data was taken out, put that in the CSV format. We had put ML model on top of it, and the risk was then calculated, and the staff was put into various different risk categories to analyze and take further action. What that did basically identified that which staff can come back to work, which staff can basically stay put based on various different categories. I know that Dubai has eased their restrictions, and we can see a lot of staff coming back to work, and I'm sure they're liking it as well. But I think, is there a way we can identify which employees who are coming back comes from a high risk area or at high risk, and if we can segregate them so that we can ensure that the others are not impacted by that, right? So just to add the last slide, which is very important. So I spoke about how we can use the intelligent automation lever to help the organization, because it's a new normal, right? You will have to embark on the new journey with all the tools at your disposal, and intelligent automation is another one. From Automation Anywhere, it's we have, I spoke about the digital workforce at the center of this slide. On the top, productivity packs, bot store, I covered that as well. Productivity packs helps you to execute your bots from your either Office 365 Salesforce, which means that from your Excel itself, you can run the bots. Again, increase your capacity to go and do more with less. And on the right side of the screen is the way we delivered is using cloud platform as well. So it's not only that you need to install on-prem, it is cloud. We bring our own cloud solution that will help organizations to start their automation journey faster. Again, more so now because you would want to focus on more important activities, and we are more than happy to take that load away from you in terms of procuring a servers and all. We bring our own cloud solution, deploy it for you, and you can start automating the bots straight up, right? Certainly, there is we have got a lot of third-party solutions because we appreciate many organizations have already got many other process mining, AI solutions, or project management solutions. We are more than happy to connect with that and provide a more holistic solution to manage and to work in the new normal which we are experiencing. Lastly, I will appreciate and encourage you all to look at the community edition of Automation Anywhere. It's on our website. Please go there, download it. You will have free bots available from Bot Store. We have specifically designed during COVID. So if you're experiencing any challenge, I would highly encourage you to look at it or reach out to us. As I spoke about, Smart Automation as a Service, which is the cloud we provide, again, to fast track the automation deployment so that you can start your automation journey much sooner and faster, and the bot store and bot insights. So on that note, I will take a pause. I hope I was able to explain you clearly in terms of how digital workforce is responding to the new normal in the current immediate situation where we are still getting out of the woods from COVID situation, but also as the dust is settling down, what we expect the workforce will look like and how you can utilize and harness the power of automation. On that, I'll take a pause. And Varsha, I think I can take some question answers
Sure.
if there's any. I think there are lot more questions on chat.
So we have a question from Ms. Shiba,
Please
and
go ahead.
what is a bot store?
Yeah, fantastic question. See, let me bring it back. So bot store is here. This is on the screen you can see. So bot store is no different than your app store on your smartphone. So as you've got 3,000 customers, we have got a lot of experience which we have used in building a ready-to-use bots on the bot store. So for example, all these various applications like AWS, Workday, ServiceNow, SAP, it is widely used across different organizations. So we have learned from it. We have created a ready-made bot. You can go into the bot store, download it. You have to configure it a bit to basically fit within your area of work or your environment, but it will certainly fast track your automation journey. And you can also contribute it to as well. So if you have a bot which you have designed on SAP and you believe that could be useful for the others, you can contribute and you can have your bot on bot store as well.
So I hope all the questions have been answered very effectively. So thank you so much for running an amazing session. I would request and also thank all our attendees and also request them to get into our next session, which is the panel discussion, which is happening at 10:40. So I would request all my attendees to log into our next session, which is the panel discussion, the future of leadership. Will there be a change in the status? So I would request all of them to please go and start your session there. Thank you so much, Sumit.
Thank you, Asham. Thank you, everyone who dialed in. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.